Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. My name is Megan. I'm going to share something with you all. So I have tried to record this transmission several times, and I knew that I wanted it to be something that I shared with the whole community, meaning outside of just the Patreon, which most of you know, I show up to when I'm guided. Okay. When spirit is like, there is something that we want you to channel, we're going to give you maybe a few pieces of what we want to come through, or maybe we're not going to give you any. We just want you to go in blind. And we want you to channel. And we just want you to show up. And the reason that I was struggling to record this is because the heart of this transmission is about feminine receptivity, the feminine energy, how powerful it is, how holy it is, how sacred it is, and how so many of you are at this place now where you've been on these powerful awakening spiritual journeys and paths, where maybe you started the journey coming from distorted feminine, having a very imbalanced masculine, and now you've reclaimed it, you've come into inner union, you've healed it, you've come into wholeness, and now you're being invited and initiated back into your dominant energy, which is the feminine, right? The home energy, right? The place that you're in your home space with. And it all feels brand new because it's all healed and balanced. And so now you're almost like relearning it. And so this message is about that. It's about the flow, it's about femininity, it's about intuition. And yet I was trying to deliver this message from my masculine energy. My masculine, God love him, he can't talk to y'all about feminine receptivity, right? He needs to sit back and honor it and allow it and listen, right? So my masculine was trying to channel this transmission for you all, and it just wasn't working. And I was like, what is going on? I know you guys want me to share this, and it's just not working. So here I am with and to be honest with you, it's not like I had like a plan or structure, or that I was like had notes even. It was just the energy that I was embodying. It was very, it's, I show up in my masculine a lot here. Okay. With you guys, because it's just a natural place for the masculine to live in life purpose, in service, in mission, in guidance, in assisting, in all of that, right? It's home of the masculine energy. It's my inner masculine energy that has me show up here. But I didn't have the flow, I didn't have the brevity, I didn't have the lightness, I didn't have the fun, I didn't have the silliness, I didn't have the vitality, the I don't know, all that, right? So here we are, take 3, trying to figure this out, trying to channel it and be a vibrational match to the transmission that wants to come through me, that wants to be gifted to you all, and trying to be a vibrational match. So we're being a little looser. We have our sparkling water. I do have a fan on because it's hot in here. I'm traveling again. I don't have my microphone. So we're just going with it. Okay. So hopefully you can hear it. If you can't, I would suggest headphones. This is a message for all of y'all feminines, and I'm sure there's masculines as well that could benefit from this, because guess what? Regardless of your gender, your dominant polarity, we each hold both. And it is our goal in this life. If you found this work, if you've tuned into me ever, if you've tuned into any of the spiritual work around sacred union, sacred partnership, sacred relationship, twin flames, soulmates, I don't care what you call it. If you've been connected or drawn to any of those teachings, then it is your path to balance out your polarities within. Okay. Coming into a state of wholeness, not being too dominant in one where the other one is our blind spot and it's unconscious to us and we're not aware, and we're walking through the world hurting our inner feminine. When we're hurting our internal feminine, we're absolutely going to be walking around the world hurting our external feminine, right? External feminines, I should say. And vice versa. Feminines, when you are afraid of your own masculine energy, your strength and your power, you're going to be walking around in the world using your distorted feminine energy to control the masculine, to hurt the masculine, to manipulate the masculine, because that's what makes you feel safe. So if any of us are concerned with a lack of safety in our bodies, in our spirituality, in our heart, in our emotions, it's going to be really hard to connect and relate to others in a genuine, vulnerable way. Right. So that's kind of the theme here of what I'm picking up on, what I was attempting to channel for the past 20 minutes or so, is this sense of cultivating safety within our bodies. Okay. Whatever polarity we're in, cultivating the sense of safety. For feminines, people that are more dominant in the feminine polarity, and or any feminine in a female body. So let me just break that down really quickly. You could be a divine masculine energy polarity, and you could be a feminine female body. I almost confused myself. I know you all know this, but I'm being guided to give refreshers here for some reason. So anyone who has either a female body or feminine energy, there is this sense of feeling unsafe in the physical world, in the 3D world, okay, for obvious reasons, right? I don't think I need to list the obvious reasons, but it's just part of that polarity because the feminine energy wants to be receptive. It wants to be vulnerable. It wants to be open. It wants to be penetrated emotionally, physically, right? It's the receiver, right? It's literally set up that way. Also in energy and polarities and science, it is the receptive energy. So it is really going against its natural state when it's in a state of fear, hiding, contraction, blocks, walls, right? It's what we see most feminines in our world, unfortunately, but it's because there's a lack of safety. It's I either don't feel safe in my physical body or I don't feel safe being vulnerable and having an open heart. So I have to have protective layers. We know the extreme of where this distortion can go, and it can go into severe dark magic, let's call it black magic, deception, manipulation, violence, right? It can get real dark, and I think we all are pretty aware of that. But really the source is just not feeling safe, having fear in the physical body. So this is something that feminine energy has to work to balance and heal. Not, oh, I feel safe when I have a masculine energy around me protecting me, or oh, I feel safe when I have a weapon or whatever. It has to be, I'm cultivating safety within my body through my inner masculine energy, through my sovereignty, through my discernment, through my trust in the divine, in my guides, through my ability to listen and pay attention to signals, to energy, right? Because that's your gift. Your gift, feminine, is to be able to, if you're getting guidance to not go to that party, right? That's your gift, to get that guidance, first of all, and then to go, oop, I'm not going to go. I don't know why, but I don't need to know why. I'm just not going to go, right? That's the power of the feminine's energy. And there will be times in your life where you may manifest needing to go to the party and have it not go well, or something happen that causes you to feel unsafe, so that you start to trust and listen to that inner voice, so that you start to really honor that and know, like, I'm not crazy. I'm not paranoid. I'm not in my head. There is real feminine guidance and wisdom that helps me keep my physical body safe, helps me feel safer in the physical world, right? So all of this is going to apply, just so you know, whether you're a dude, a woman, feminine, masculine, it doesn't matter. Whoever's watching this is all going to apply to our internal and external polarities, okay? Masculine energy, on the other hand, so that could be someone in a male body, but it could just be someone that holds the polarity of masculine energy. You tend to have a lack of safety in your emotional world. You don't feel safe to be vulnerable. You don't feel safe to lead with your heart, okay? You don't feel safe to feel your emotions. So while the feminine excels at her divinity, her spirituality, her emotionality, right? Connecting to that inner guidance and that intuition. The masculine feels a lot safer, typically, in the physical world, in their physical body, right? What do masculines do when they're feeling insecure? They may go to the gym. They may go and work out and work on their physical body, right? They may go and physically do something like, I'm going to go buy a weapon, right? They may change something in their physical environment to feel more confidence. They may be in a committed relationship with someone and they're not feeling hot or sexy, and they may go cheat. That's a physical sort of expression of that lack, okay? It's all physical moves. Whereas the feminine, when the feminine feels unsafe, she may emotionally manipulate or try something to feel more a sense of control. At the end of the day, if you can kind of start to see a theme, the energetics are the same, right? It's fear and it's control. So when I feel fear, I feel like I need to gain back a sense of control. And as a feminine polarity, what is my strength? My divinity, my spirituality, my emotions. right? Especially when we're talking about divine feminines. Divine feminines are deeply psychic, deeply intuitive. You know, whether you go through periods of your life where you deny it and you don't really listen to it, it's kind of always been with you, most likely. You've always felt this connection to other worlds, and you've always seen in between worlds. You've been kind of able to move between the worlds and the veils. And so you recognize and see this as a strength. So you don't even need sometimes to question the guidance you're getting. You just listen to it, right? So when this is used incorrectly, this is dark empaths, right? This is siphoning energy. This is narcissism, right? But in a spiritual way, where you're just trying to take the energy of others. It's leading people astray. It's black magic, right? It's all this really dark shit. So that's all how the feminine energy can get when they're in fear, when they feel like they need control. They're going to use their spirituality for bad, right? They're going to use their gifts for negative, like love spells, right? Even love spells, right? All that shit. Really, really negative, low frequency. And they're also, let's say in like a one-on-one relationship, they may use emotional manipulation because they're feeling a lack. Whereas masculine energy, it's usually like a physical manifestation, right? So maybe I go externalize my emotional fears and insecurities. I run away from this person. I avoid this person at like a plague. I go and I create situations in my life where I'm going to feel needed, feel validated. So I'm going to have yes men in my life. I'm going to have friends that don't really care about me on an emotional level. In fact, there's zero compatibility. I'm going to have relationships, lovers where there's zero compatibility on an emotional, spiritual level, but the physical may validate me. It may make me feel good, right? Work, money, right? I'm going to go make a lot of money and then I'm going to like show it off, or I'm going to succeed in this way and then brag about it. I don't know. Right? You see, we kind of see the differences. There's like a physicality and there's a more emotionality. Now, it doesn't mean all women are like this and all men are like this, not even in the slightest, because again, some masculines are going to be more divine feminine energy. That's going to be their dominant energy. It doesn't mean they're any less masculine. It doesn't mean that they're any less of a man. It just means that they feel really strong in their emotionality. They feel really strong in their spirituality. So they may lead with that. Okay. And they may have to work on the physical safety, right? They may struggle more with success and money in the eyes of the world, things like that, which is more of the feminine. So this really isn't about gender, okay? I just really I have to always reiterate that, but I think you guys get it. It's all about a sense of safety, right? So those of you that have been on these spiritual journeys for a while and you're coming back into your state of receptivity, you're coming back into your state of wholeness, safety, belonging, you may be tempted at this time to get in your head and to try and control the situation, okay? Whatever the situation is. Perhaps you are in a new cycle, which by the way, oh, I just shook the camera, sorry. We are all in a really strong new cycle, especially those of you that have been on these journeys for a while. You've been tuning in here for a while. You've resonated with the content I've been sharing. We have been healing. We have been actively healing for quite some time. We've come into a state of harmony. We've come into a state of balance, and we're like smack dab in this new cycle where that cycle of healing, pain, disappointment, loss, you know, people leaving our lives, opportunities leaving our lives, like not getting our abundance getting siphoned, et cetera, like all of this kind of stuff that we had to really face and deal with, all of our fears, all of our scarcity. That cycle has ended for us. Whether or not you're connected to a masculine on a twin flame path, like an external masculine, feminine, you are in a new cycle. They may still be in that old cycle, working on their demons, working on their karma, but you, who I'm talking to here, who this message is for, you are in a new cycle. And in this cycle, you are getting proof and affirmations and validation that is showing you it's safe to come back home into your feminine energy. It is safe to be receptive. Now, being receptive doesn't mean, oh, I'm in my feminine energy, I'm vulnerable, so I can only hang out with people that feel safe, or I can only go to this place, but not that place, or I can't travel right now, or I can only be in my house, or I can blah, 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 blah. Nope. Feminine energy flows. Feminine energy doesn't like that structure. Feminine energy doesn't need all of those protections because you're safe. You are inherently safe regardless wherever you go. Now, in this new cycle, you may be getting in your head about that because you may be thinking, like, for example, in this new cycle, many of you are going to be getting new opportunities, new friendship, new love, romantic love, okay? New jobs, new opportunities to travel, to live somewhere else, all kinds of things. You're going to be getting all of this anew because it's a new cycle. Like you earned it, right? It's time to enjoy it. Enjoy this fun, okay? But you might be getting in your head and you might be feeling like, is it really safe? Can I be receptive? Can I enjoy? Can I follow this guidance? Is this guidance taking me away from the path? Could I mess something up on my path, right? Could I do something wrong? And the answer is no. Like if this is really true, if this is truth for you, that you know, learned how to balance your nervous system, have come into accountability, have come into receptivity and responsibility, and you're really doing your inner work, you don't need to worry about messing it up. You don't need to worry about doing something wrong. Okay. All you need to concern yourself with is allowing and being in that flow state, being in your feminine creation energy, which is the womb energy. It's stillness. It's creating from darkness. It's not needing to know. It's not needing to plan or plot or know the path, which is all forms of control, right? It's like controlling the outcome or controlling how it happens or how it comes to you. All you need to do is set your intention, your highest desire, what you want, what you're creating in love, in work, in money, in home, whatever, in relationships. What am I creating? And feminines, I almost just choked. Wow. Because it's like a lot here. You deserve love. Like many of you have found me and have resonated with this work because of romantic love. Okay. You have earned it. And if your masculine is ready, fantastic, beautiful. If the person that you thought was your masculine or the person that has kind of initiated you onto this journey is not, it doesn't have to hold you back anymore. You are in this new cycle. You do not need to get in your head. All you need to do is be in your feminine receptivity. You don't need to control. You don't need to rescue the masculine. You don't need to know where they are or what they're doing. And by the way, this could relate to new masculine energy in your life, perhaps new romantic interests. You don't need to rescue them. Yes, your energy is intimidating. Yes, you are powerful. Yes, you are like this like magical being, not because of how you look, not because of any of the physical and the 3D and the things that we've been told what feminine energy needs to be, right? Because of your energy and what you embody. And you embody balance, you embody wholeness, you embody sovereignty, you embody true unconditional love because you know how to give that to yourself. So you can't but give that to others. You can't but have this intoxicating, just magnetizing, beautiful, full energy that's radiating off of you. So of course you're going to attract suitors. Of course you're going to attract friendship and opportunities and jobs and all of the things that you want, that you all have been manifesting for so long. For a long time, your energy, you were protected, you were shielded. It's not that you weren't a match to those vibrations. It's that you were on your healing journey. You were working your path. And a lot of you had to work through the fear of deserving, of safety in your body, of owning your power, right? And being okay with, if I'm too much for someone, that's about them. That's not about me. And it is not a reflection of whether or not you deserve love or whether or not you deserve romantic love, affection, touch, physicality, sexuality, sensuality, enjoyment, experiencing life with someone, traveling, all of these things. I keep being guided to really emphasize the romantic because I think for so many of you, it's like you hold yourself back from that, perhaps because of the twin flame journey, perhaps because of a masculine. And for some of you, I'm told it's not your counterpart. You think it is, but it's not. And if you would just remove the blocks, remove the fear, and be open in a state of receptivity, you would allow the true partner. You would allow the true, because it's not that you don't deserve it. It's not that you just aren't, other people are going to get it in this life and you're not. No, it's about you deciding what you deserve and what you want. And I'm here to tell you today that you deserve love. And I'm talking like fairy tale, I don't know, whatever your version of that is, okay? The best ever. Someone that makes you feel safe, someone that makes you feel loved, someone that makes you feel like they are so fucking grateful to be in your energy and around you all the time, and they want to give to you. They want to show up. Yes, you scare them, but that inspires them. It's not that that scares them and now they need to run or now they need to ghost or now they need to like, no, somebody that gets inspired by that and motivated, that wants to meet you at your level, that loves that. Just like you want to give and you want to show up with your fullness. You don't want to hold yourself back from your affections. You don't want to hinder yourself in your passion, your fire, your love energy, right? And for many of you, you were engaging with karmics and or twin flames where there was never an equal give and take. There was never reciprocity. And so, yes, there was so much beauty and joy and gifting on that journey where you had to heal it and you had to allow it and you had to, work through all of the things that told you you weren't deserving or all of the blocks that you had to true love. But right now, I just want to tell you, for those of you that this is resonating, you do not need to be in your head about receiving the blessings that are on their way to you. You do not need to doubt it, second guess it, question it, right? And for many of you, I know deep down in your heart of hearts, what you have been desiring and wanting is someone that is able to match you, to be an equal to you, to be in that space with you that doesn't limit the love or try to control it or siphon it and this is even in friendships too, y'all. Like this is absolutely all types of relationships, right? Because here's the thing, when you're interacting with someone at a lower frequency, it has nothing to do with them, whether they're a good or bad person. It's that they have fear in their body that blocks them from loving themselves, so they can't love you. And you've moved out of that cycle, feminines, those of you that are resonating. You are out of that cycle. You are not in that cycle anymore. So the person that you love, that you think is your twin and could very well be your twin, you don't get to rescue them. It's not about you rescuing them. You tried that. It didn't work. It is about you stepping into your truth, your life. And guess what? Your life is now. Some of you have been on this journey for years and you have not received the love that you deserve. You have not been given in the physical, right? We've healed our emotional, we've healed our spiritual, and now we're physical. We are physical beings. We deserve that. Okay. We are coming into this. We're not about the spirituality cults that teach you to bypass your human body and go up into the ethers and just be this like alien starseed being. No, we are grounded and earthed in our body. We are in our truth. We are in our wholeness. We know that the more that we connect and heal our physical body, the more spiritual we become and the more unified and harmonious we become. It is not about abandoning one for the other or labeling one good and one bad. That's separation. We are here to bring unity consciousness into this earth. And in unity consciousness, you are meant to be met with the love that you put out. And that can come in all forms. It can be as simple as a stranger on the street telling you you're beautiful, right? It can be as simple as you loving and caring for a child, right? Or a less fortunate sort of soul and giving that love. And whatever you give, you receive back. And feminines, quite frankly, you give so much love, right? Everything you touch, every place you go. And it's time for you to really see that and receive that and be acknowledged for that by somebody, right? By many somebodies. There's no limit to your love. You don't need to limit your love and save it and corral it for one person. No, you are here to express it fully. And right now you're moving into this place, you are in this new cycle where it is coming back to you tenfold and you are receiving it. You are meant to receive it. That is the gift of this journey. You deserve it. Don't hold yourself back. Don't get in your head because you think it was supposed to come one way and it was supposed to be this person or it was supposed to be this thing. You never know where the path or the journey is leading you. And that's part of being in the feminine receptivity is the not knowing, right? But some of you specifically hold yourself back from receiving or experiencing these joyful new experiences in this new cycle, especially romantic love, for somebody that's just not ready to meet you there. Doesn't mean they're a bad person. Doesn't even mean they're not your twin. Doesn't mean that they won't ever meet you there. But that is you rescuing them. That is you holding yourself back, right? And again, this isn't going to resonate for everyone because there are times on the journey and on the path where it is the truth and the guidance that you 100% need to choose and commit. Choose and commit. And for some of you, it's very scary to choose and commit to one person. It's a big part of what the masculine initiation is eliminating all of the distractions, right? But for the feminines I'm talking to here, you never had an issue with that. You never had an issue with that. So you're actually learning that there's no limit to your love. And you don't need to hoard it. And you don't need to lock it away and keep it safe somewhere because it's going to really scare a lot of the people that are on the wrong frequency as you. And that you have to hide out in your houses. You don't need to do any of that. God's got you, right? The divine is always protecting you. And you've learned these lessons. And now your only choice should be union. And that's the union of self. That's the union of divine love. That's the opposite of separation. That is what these twin flame paths are for, is union. And many of you in this new cycle are already in union. The love is not limited. The love shared amongst twin flames is whole. It's one. The humans are what confuse it. The humans are what kind of get you into stagnation. So for the feminines that this message is for, you're being given this beautiful opportunity of this new cycle to choose love, to make that choice of love, and then to surrender, sit back, get into your receptivity, and see how the divine delivers you love in whatever form. Okay? For some of you, it's just going to be a feeling of safety within your body, feeling like you cultivate that. Because the thing is when we have this inclination to go and rescue someone, whether it's like a child, whether it's a friend, a romantic person, right? I really am seeing this just because it's inspired by client sessions with some of you, where the feminine notices that now that you've healed, that you notice the effect that you have on men, even like platonic, like your dads, your brothers, your uncles, your cousins, whatever, and then romantic interest, and you notice this effect where they get kind of intimidated, or they want to pull back, or they want to hide from you. It's only because you're operating with a truly open heart, an unconditionally loving heart. And that's very foreign to many of us, sadly, especially in the feminine energy, to cultivate such safety. But there's this feeling that we've been taught that we need to rescue the masculine. Like if they're feeling scared about that, then we need to like let them know we're safe. We need to go out of our way to be like, oh, we're safe. It's okay. I know you're intimidated by me, but hold on, let me make myself small really quick. You know what I mean? Let me let you know you're safe. No, we're in a new cycle and we're not doing that anymore in any way. You're energetic, so hold the energy that you want to be in, okay? You don't need to make compromises in your energy, in your power, in your gifts. You don't need to go out of your way to make someone feel comfortable or safe in your presence. All you need to do is hold yourself in truth and love and divinity, which, yes, is super scary and triggering to some people. That's not your business, right? They're either going to choose to match you and meet you in that or not. But what I'm telling you about this new cycle is there's plenty that are ready to meet you and match you there. Plenty of masculines, plenty of romantic interests, plenty of friendships, plenty of jobs and opportunities and projects, plenty of homes and living situations and spaces, all the exciting things that you've been desiring that you feel like you've been held back from. You haven't been able to have. You've only been held back to protect you, to keep your energy while you were going through your incubation, your healing, your coming into your sovereignty and your discernment, that you wouldn't create contracts out of a feeling of lack or the needing to rescue others or the needing to dim your light in order to make them feel more protected and more whole, more safe. The divine didn't want you to build any more of those contracts. The divine was like, you've learned that lesson. You've had your karma. You're done with it. Now you need to be in this space of trusting that we got this. You don't have to be in the driver's seat. That's the beauty of the feminine energy. Not needing to know, not needing to control, not needing to fix, not needing to change. Which, by the way, if you're a masculine watching this, you have that energy within. The only difference is you talk to that feminine energy within you that is perfect and divine exactly as it is, the flow, releasing the control, releasing the fear, and you allow that to inspire your masculine energy to externalize and move forward and take action in the world, right? Most of the masculine energies, especially on these journeys, what happens is they start to trust and they start to get stronger in that intuition, and they hear it and they feel it, but they struggle with actually taking the physicalized 3D action in the world. That's the part that they have. It takes time. Like it really takes time for them to heal that. But again, I'm talking to feminines here mainly, and that ain't your business. You don't need to make it easier for them. Because if you do, you're selling them short and you're selling yourself short. Like if you're constantly rescuing anyone, but we're talking about masculine energy, then they're never coming into their full strength and their full power and their full divine masculine energy. They're never coming into their sovereignty, which to be honest has been the problem, is they've interacted with feminine energy, their mothers probably being the first that codependently loved them. showed them a distorted, unbalanced version of love, didn't teach them healthy love, right? And society as well, of course. Not just blaming the moms. And this isn't good or bad. This isn't like, oh, those moms are horrible. No, they did the best they could with what they knew, right? So, and then, of course, what did that do? That attracted that repeat of pattern over and over and over again in feminine energy. And unfortunately, a lot of masculines in this cycle, because they were so disconnected from their inner feminine, they engaged and trusted dark feminines that actually had bad intentions, that had really bad intentions. Let's just leave it there. Right? And so healing their trust of themselves and their own intuition and healing the trust of the feminine again, that's where the masculines have been. And that's a hard place to be. And we honor and respect that and love them through that, right? I have so much love for the masculine collective. You all know I've been the masculine collective's biggest fan. But this message feels so alive right now. And I knew I had to share it in the larger, like I had to share it here publicly, because there's so many of you feminines, divine feminines, that have worked so hard and you have earned this new cycle. You're sitting in it. And if you really take time to connect to your body and ground and get still and just hold like a sense of stillness and peace, you'll feel it. I'm not saying your mind and your anxiety and your fear won't kick in and you won't feel scared about this journey. Like if I, like for example, if you decide to date someone else, fear of like, am I abandoning this journey? Like, was it all for nothing? Ask yourself that really honestly. Was it all for nothing? No. Look how far you've come. Look at who you are. Look who you attract now. Look at the people and things and situations you're able to attract into your life now because you're healed and whole. Look at how you don't have to learn through suffering anymore. You don't have to learn through karma anymore. Look at the effect you have on people in your life. I mean, I would be willing to bet if any of you, the people that are truly resonating with this message, your life has changed drastically. You experience peace most of the time. You have a strong nervous system. You have all the tools in your tool belt to navigate difficulty, challenge, heartbreak, pain, loss. You have the ability to navigate this matrix. You have the ability to see through the bullshit. You can read the room. You can tell when people are lying to you. You've been able to cultivate peace in your life, peace in your finances, peace in your home, peace in your relationships, peace being alone and by yourself. No problem, right? Some of you started this journey and you had a hard time being alone. So was that a waste? No. And we don't ever approach a spiritual journey or any sort of internal path for the external reward or the gift, right? Because then we're actually approaching it from ego and distortion. So if you were to, it would be a shame if you were to look at your twin flame path and twin flame journey and spiritual journey from a place of, well, I failed because I didn't get the outcome of a physical 3D union. And by the way, I know this could be triggering for some depending on where you are on the journey, and I'm okay with that. But for those of you that are really here, this isn't going to be triggering because you're going to know, you're going to be like, yeah. And in it, for some of you, you're going to know even firmly and more strongly that you are destined for a 3D physical reunion with your twin flame counterpart that you believe to be your twin flame counterpart. And you're going to know that every single thing on the path leading you up to there is getting you there. Regardless of in the 3D, the illusion of the 3D and the Maya looks like you're going away from it because you're settling down with someone new. You know what I mean? Like it's spiritual journeys are not catered to our ego human mind. They have to transmute that. They transmute that. So the truth is always going to live in the body. It's going to live in the heart. It's going to live in your feelings, right? So if you're having these new opportunities come to you and all of this is resonating, you can trust that it's a gift from the divine. You can trust it. And trust that you will know the moment that it's not. Right? Because for some of you, it's just to help you commit even deeper to your truth, which could very well be, there's only one person on this planet for me, right? You're all going to kind of fit somewhere in between this. There's no like one size fits all for this. You're all going to have different sort of experiences. But I guess really this transmission is about feminines empowering themselves to choose themselves, to say yes to themselves, to say yes to their life, to say yes to pleasure, to say yes to the abundance and blessings and gifts that for some of you are literally like already being offered to you and you're kind of like fearful of taking them. And for some of you, they're on their way and you can feel them, but you might be in your head about it. So you might be kind of blocking it or holding it back a little bit. You know, for some of you, it's really being free of the chains. Because this is what they're showing me. The twin flame journey, when viewed through the lens of the human ego, so when viewed from the material world plane, the 3D, it is the devil card in the tarot. Because, let me see if I have it handy. No, because this deck is different. I don't have it handy, but some of you probably can visualize it. It's like a devil type character, and it's a man and a woman naked and bound, chained to one another. Right? Pretty dark. 2:22 on my clock. 2:22, right? Bound, chained, right? It's how every person that knows about twin flames or has any sort of understanding about twin flames, like, oh, that sucks. Oh, that's hard. Yeah, they never can be together, right? So they're showing me the illusion of that, and how if you're approaching your journey from that perspective, then you are bound to this person. You are locked. You are stuck in a karmic wheel. But if you really free yourself and you come into your truth, the truth of love, you realize that there is no bounds. There is no parameters. There is no fences. There are, just none of that. None of that is real. None of that is real. And I've gotten this message for a long time on these journeys. And the message was, when feminine connects and hooks into the divine and God, she's free. Okay? She's free. She embodies love and she attracts everything to her. She doesn't need to go out into the world and work hard to get it or find it. It just arrives at her doorstep, like quite literally. And then when the masculine twin, on the other hand, connects and hooks into the divine feminine, the counterpart, the person they had their awakening with, the recognition, the acknowledgement, when they hook into her or him, depending on polarity, they are free. The more they go into the depths of their commitment, the more they free themselves, the more love they feel, the more abundance they feel, the more magic and flow happens in their life, the more they honor and worship the divine feminine within them and an external feminine, the freer that they feel. And it's why, if you look at our world, we're in the inversion, where we have feminine energies being told to worship masculine energies, to make their God, it's the whole 1950s housewife and how that didn't work. Just as like a tiny little example, and there's millions. Right? And it's the masculine not ever truly fully committing emotionally, spiritually, always having back doors, always having options, always having that control. Well, if this doesn't work out, then maybe this will work out and this will work. Do you know how exhausting and draining that is? The masculine wants to be committed, fully, solely focused on think about it, they're seekers, they're hunters. The object of their desire, the object of their affection, the object, like when it's one person, when it's one energy, when it's devotion, that's when they emancipate themselves from the matrix and the Maya. And guess what? When they're in that, they're protected. They're protected from all of the attacks in the matrix. Because really, the way that this world is controlled, masculine energy, is through dark feminine energy. So you want to control a man, you send in a dark feminine that's controlled by the group, which I think we all know and can see very clearly. I was going to name people we know, but I won't. I think you all probably can see it in our, So that's how you control them, right? And I've worked with some of you divine masculines in coaching containers, and you've learned this. You've learned this. I didn't teach you this. You learned it. This is part of what this journey teaches you. And it's so beautiful to witness that in you. Those of you that, I've seen it time and time again. The more that the feminine plugs into the divine and her inner higher self and God, the freer she is, she's just alive, right? She's just alive. And the more that the masculine plugs into the divine feminine and commits and devotes and just worships and honors, the freer. And you know what? We did have this right way back when, many epochs ago. And that's what we're moving back towards, right? But we've all been really confused, really led astray. We've been told to be the opposite of our polarities. So we have really wishy-washy, indecisive masculines who aren't in their power at all. And they just get blown apart with the wind, the towers, right? Life is so hard. They just go to work, they get beat up, they come home, they don't have the energy for their family, their kids, they're, you know, hot mess, right? I mean, for lack of a better term. And then we have feminines who feel so trapped in maybe motherhood, or the struggle of how do I balance my passions with motherhood, with being a partner, with being a wife, and my power, my strength, my divinity intimidates everyone. So now I have to like push it down and pretend that I'm smaller than I am, and I have to go out there and physically like work really hard and like grab and manifest and bang on doors to get what I want, when really my energy just attracts it all, right? But if you have all those blocks and fears, you're not going to be attracting anything that's actually truly aligned. Okay, so I think this is it. This was really all over the place. But I think that's how it needed to be, because when I first, like I said, when I was struggling to channel this, it wasn't working. I was trying to be really organized and concise for you and just kind of, but now where we got to is nowhere I knew we would get to. I had no idea that this is where this would go. I thought this would be a separate transmission at some point when I spoke, revisited those energies of how when the feminine commits to herself, and the masculine commits to the feminine. So back to you, feminines. You're not off the journey. Okay. You don't need to get in your head. You need to be fully, firmly planted in this new cycle, and to be open to what comes your way and to what shows up at your doorstep. And you're always going to know in your heart what's true. So if a masculine comes back around, you're going to know if it's true and if it's something that you can trust in, if it's reliable, right? And you're going to know if that contract is done. It's over. You're going to know, right? And you're going to know the same in new situations, new people, new things. And you don't have to be afraid of romantic love. You don't have to be afraid of enjoying it and appreciating it, because the feminine energy, when she is safe within herself, when she's open, when she's receptive, and she allows a masculine energy to penetrate her emotionally, spiritually, physically, that heals the masculine collective so much. It heals the masculine. It's profound. We heal each other. We need each other. And so if anything, you can look at it as this experience of us doing as much work on this service path and mission as we can in the interim. So you may hold this desire to be in a physical union with this person, but in the meantime, let the divine work through you, right? Let the divine assist the collective, you and the divine working together to assist the collective and heal. And your energy, divine feminine specifically, your energy is very, very healing in romantic containers. Yeah, I want you guys to know that. Just like imagine a feminine energy who's had trauma and pain with masculine, to not feel safe with the masculine. Imagine how healing a divine masculine energy could be for that feminine, right? Oh, I'm in like this physical experience that in the past I've had trauma and I've been hurt and violated and abused, and now I have this very powerful masculine energy being open-hearted, being loving, being vulnerable, being safe. It's powerful, this medicine that we have for each other, right? It's powerful. So allow yourself to be. And this is for masculine and feminine, right? I didn't really address the masculines fully in this, so perhaps I will have a transmission for you all soon, because I know you guys are in a different place. You guys kind of have the weight of the world on your shoulders. You have the burden on your shoulders, but guess what? That's what's making you that divine masculine. That's what's making you the man that you've been afraid of being. Yeah. So take that burden as a gift. Be grateful for that. Be honored that there's a feminine out in the world that has always seen this in you, regardless of if you've seen it in yourself. And regardless of what she chooses to do in her life, or where she chooses to go, or if she ends up choosing somebody else for a while or forever, it doesn't take away from the love that you hold. It doesn't take away from the love that you each have for one another. It doesn't take away from that. It only expands. right? There is no limit to love. Okay. I have a feeling that this is going to be a tough message for some, but I hope that you can feel the heart of it. And I'm sending you a lot of love, and I'll be back when I'm back. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you. I really, really, really am grateful. It's because of you all that I am gifted this space to channel and heal, because whether you can see the way that we're all connected, whether we've never met, whether we've never had a session, whether we've never connected, whether I've ever seen your face, we are all connected on such a higher level. And all of these collective readings, especially the ones I choose to put on YouTube, are so divinely guided, because I know I can't just give this to the Patreon. Like, I need to bring this out here for people that maybe feel like you're invisible, but I just want you to know you're not, because it's through you all and your desires and your needs and what's weighing on your heart that these transmissions get physicalized, right? Okay, I'm friggin' hot and tired, so I'm gonna drink my sparkling water and enjoy the rest of my day, and I hope you can do the same. This is a beautiful, beautiful new cycle. And if I haven't mentioned this before, masculines, just know that if you have a feminine in this new cycle, know that it's available to you as well, and you can join her there. But it may require things, sacrifices, challenges to be faced. But it's what makes you, it's really what is allowing you to remember who you truly are and coming back into that. So yeah, that's all I got. That cycle's available for you too. All right. Lots of love.